Now, diary, you may notice that we are in the apartment like two rap stars with big fat medals on our chests. And the reason will be is that we've finished the Lanzarote Baby Iron Man 70.3. So how did it go? So you can all switch off now, but we're going to go into some detail. So for me, it went very well. We were trying to go for a finish, not a super duper time. Having said that, I think my time was 5:50 or something like that, and Agata's was
6:47.
6:47. So we were very pleased with our times. The swim. Oh, would you go into the three stages? The swim, the bike, and the run. The swim started at 8:05, and there were 800 contestants, and it was a bit of a punching match. Two loops of the lake, and not very eventful, except for the fact that I think at one stage there was a guy who was swimming to the right of me, and every time he moved his left arm, he hit me on the head, and I felt like just like kicking him or something. But he just every time, so I had to like move out of the way. The course was well. It was a little bit choppy, but not as choppy as it was the other day, and it certainly wasn't flat. And I don't know if I finished last or practically last, but after the swim, as usual, I wanted to go for a pee, so I had to stop up in the toilets, which luckily they were there. They did have toilets, which is great. And then I met Agata in the changing room, so that was very nice. So we finished our swim. I have no idea what the time was, but it was very successful as far as we're concerned. And then it was a question of the bike. So on the bike, I thought I did a really good bike. Our bicycles were from Pro Bike in Lanzarote, and they are very well put together. I mean, I think Steve, the mechanic guy and the owner who's put our bicycles together, really did a good job. I really thank him for his very, very low friction bicycling. Unfortunately, our bikes weren't in any way aerodynamic, but I think, given what they did very well. So we have to go to Sue, then Famara, then Teguise, then Tabasco Hill, then back to Teguise, then back to Sue, then back to La Santa. And the 90 kilometres were done quite easily, really. The highlight for me was the Tabasco Hill, where I must have overtaken at least 50 people. There was some timing between the bottom and the top, and I haven't seen the times, but I really, really, really went as fast as possible. It was so nice overtaking people who'd overtaken me. There were lots of people with aero hats and aero bikes, and on the windy sections, they would continually overtake me. And as soon as it was hilly, for some reason, I would go straight past them. And on the steep hill, this Tabasco Hill, I really went past them. I didn't take the iPhone, and I couldn't get there was a little bicycle computer sitting on the handlebars, but I couldn't get it working. It was working, but the last couple of days, when I pressed the go button or the reset button, it always just had 0.0, so what can I say? By the way, what was I wearing? Well, I was wearing longs. I'd cut the Decathlon cycling longs to be, they were supposed to be just below the calf, but unfortunately on the right leg I cut it slightly wrong, so that the left leg stayed below the calf and the right leg kept on riding up to my knee. So they were longer than shorts, if you like, but they weren't quite as long as they should have been. So anyway, we got to the top of the Tabasco Hill, and I can talk about the fluids now. On this race, you start with your own water bottles, and then at the aid station, they will give you water bottles, their water bottles with either Coke or water, or sort of Powerade drink. I think Coke and Power Bar are sponsors, and hence that's why the fluids are what they are. I had a bit of a problem, which is that I got 2 bottles of mine, and that lasted me to the top of the Tabasco Hill. And then at an aid station, I was down to 1 bottle at that point, which was then empty. So I gave that bottle into the bin, and I got a new bottle of Coca-Cola. But it was like watered down Coke. It was like 1 part Coke and 3 parts water or something. It was really like wasn't really comfortable to drink. So I had to get another Coke bottle from the next aid station, which I wasn't planning to stop at, so I lost a bit of time there. And speaking of losing time, I lost more time when I was coming out of the, I think it was Teguise, the town, when I turned right because it looked like it was a right turn. There was a marshal there, but then as I looked back towards the marshal, I noticed there was a sign pointing in the other direction. So I stopped, and I actually stopped, and I was doing about 30 kilometres an hour. So I stopped, turned the bike round, and then shouted to the marshal, "Am I going the right way?" And he sort of said yes, but then all these people that I'd got past run past me again. So that was a bit disappointing. So I lost, I wouldn't say a minute, maybe a minute or two there. Maybe a minute or two. So yeah, that was the end of the... Now I got back to La Santa, and it was time for the run. Transitions went quite well. I had all my cycling kit on, and potentially I could have put these running trousers on, but I thought, well, that'll just be extra time. So I thought I'd run in my cycle stuff, which I did do. So the pad on the bottom was a bit funny looking and probably slowed me down a bit, but what the heck. And the run went very well. I can say that the cycling jacket had nice pockets at the back, and I found out that there was, with the orange quarters that I love, which were available at one point, they also had ice cubes. So I had a plan, which of the 3 laps, I only started on lap number 2, which was to take bunches of ice cubes and put them in these back pockets and then munch them, because I was so hot being in these long clothes, and gloves by the way, that I was really overheating, and so the ice cubes were just perfect because they provided some liquid and they also provided cooling. So yeah, I think we finished the run, and then it was just a question of running upstairs, having a shower, getting the camera and trying to find Agatha, and she was not far behind me. I think I just missed her on the start of the 3rd lap, so I had to wait a while to find her. But then she arrived, and we took pictures, and she finished, and it was all fantastic. So we had a fantastic day. Everything went well. The bikes went well. We all did our 3 sections well. We were very happy with the times. I wouldn't say a perfect day, but a very good day indeed. And there is a big dinner to come. So we're very happy, and we'll talk to you later.